Hey, what's up you amazing hackers? Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Over the past few days I've been digging deep into INI and specifically eJPT version 2. Try saying that 10 times fast, my friends. I'm going to expose all their darkest secrets, so stay tuned because I've been hearing some bad reviews, but it's the truth behind these reviews. Or should we look behind the curtain? Stay tuned to find out, my friends. Let's dive straight in. So, what are you going to learn? You're going to learn enough. The coverage is great, definitely. Maybe some of the videos go in depth a little bit too much, or they should have just been split up a little bit more. Sometimes you get like 20-minute videos. I would have preferred if they would have been a little bit smaller and contained chunks of what I was going to learn. It would have been a little bit easier for me as the learner. Just a little bit of advice that I would give there. And also it's 144 hours long in video content with 4 sections, 12 courses, 229 videos, 154 quizzes and 120 labs. So now you might be wondering, what are those critiques that you've heard? Well, I saw a lot of posts on Twitter, for example, which were bashing this certificate and telling you not to take it because they failed a certain module. Now, you have 4 sections here. Those sections are subdivided, but you have to pass for all of those sections, of course. You have to pass for your web app pen testing, your network pen testing, your pen testing in general. All of these modules need to be covered very well by you, and you'll get practical questions on your exam. And there's the key, my friends, because a lot of people think they're failing with 78%. Yeah, you're failing because you're failing a specific module practically, and that is a big deal. Believe me, if you would be working in one of my companies in my company and you would make one of these mistakes, I would not be happy. I talked to Alexis and he told me that everything was practical. He then even went as far as to outline one of these question examples for me, and I am very convinced that is actually practical, that you have to actually be able to exploit all of this, and if you miss this on a pen test, it's a bad thing. Now, he also explained to me why they made it practical, and I'm sorry if I'm doing it wrong here, but they made it practical in a sense that you're split up now in 4 modules. You have to pass all of them because it used to be that sometimes you would get easier questions, sometimes you would get harder questions, and it's just so happened that if you got a lot of easy questions on specific modules or spread over specific modules, if you got certain combinations, you could pass even though you didn't thoroughly understand the material ahead of you. You could pass because you had a really high score in, for example, information gathering, but your score would be really low on network pen testing or web app pen testing. As for the quizzes, I sometimes think the questions are asked a little bit strange, but that is not a big critique, that's just an improvement point. And again, I did talk to Alexis, and the way they are handling going over their courses, improving them systematically, really gives me confidence that they're heading in the right direction. As for the labs, of course, they use Hera Labs, so there's nothing wrong about that. I cannot say anything bad about that. You will be 25% covering the assessment methodologies, 35% of the material will cover host and network pen testing, then another 25% for host and network auditing, and then 15% for your web app pen testing. So the exams include a subset of questions. They're going to change each time an exam is attempted. So every time you're going to try, you're going to get different questions. I love that approach, of course. Not everybody should get the same test. This dynamic system will allow the experience of being in a simulated environment with a variety of real-world tasks and experiences you will have in the field, making you a strong candidate for various positions across the industry. And then, of course, you can see the whole path through. I will talk about eJPT version 2 later on, not in this video, and eJPTX as well. But as for these 4 topics that are covered here, vulnerability, assessment, assessment, then you have your target network analyst, you have your target developer, and then you have your exploitation analyst. So all of this is just, a lot of people have asked me, should I take this? A lot of people have left negative comments. I can see why that is. INE sees why this is. They know that they need to communicate more clearly, but my friends, you cannot communicate without sacrificing a part of your integrity as well, because when you release those exam questions, they simply cannot be used ever again. So that is important to know. Will you benefit greatly from this exam in the field that is now open, looking for different certificates? Well, of course, OSCP is going to be the bigger, better certificate there, but the thing is, this is also a lot cheaper. This is not nearly as expensive as your OSCP certificate, and I do think it provides excellent value. And I do also think that if they do get more recognition within universities, within the job field, that they're going to have a much better time. I, for example, am convinced that the material covered within this is good enough, definitely good enough. In some places, even excellent. In some places, maybe a little bit, like I would have made a little improvement here or there, but that is nothing major to fall over. There's only one major thing that I'm falling over in this, and that is, okay, let's sign up. Well, apparently the sign-up period has ended now. I was able to sign up for a certificate previously. That being said, when I signed up for the certificate, I got the option to actually sign up for a, like, I think it was 899 euros a month for the full package, 799 for the premium or something, $39 for the basic package. And then if you scrolled all the way down, you would get the option to get the eJPT certificate, but it's only access to the material for 3 months. After 3 months, you cannot access the material anymore. Important to understand that. That being said, you can, and it probably will, charge your credit card $39 a month after that for additional months. I don't really like that model. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of it. That's of course my take on it. Maybe in 5 years' time I'll have that model as well, so I shouldn't speak too loud right now. But I do say that right now, at this moment, I'm not a big fan of it, and especially because they do offer a 7-day free trial, but it's one of those sleazy trials where they will just automatically charge your credit card if you forget to cancel before the trial period ends. So that's just a little tip to the sales team. Make it more obvious that you're buying for 3 months access and not for lifetime. Make sure that you also make it very, very clear that if you sign up, you need to cancel before the period ends or you'll be charged on your credit card. That's especially for the very, very big packages. That's a big deal because those are the first ones that they recommend you, of course. The bigger, the better, because then if you forget to charge, they immediately get $900 instead of that smaller amount, and then you might still cancel, but they already were able to charge you. I hope this helped some of you out there. I know that some of you are looking into this exam, seeing a lot of negative comments out there. Well, now you know what to be careful for. Give it a shot. There's no, make sure that you cancel your credit card if you don't like it, but give it a shot. There's no strings attached. You can just go and sign up if the period is open, of course. But my verdict is that if somebody with this certificate would show up to my company's door, I would know that they at least possess the basics in InfoSec pen testing, both on web application level and on network level. I do also recognize that that candidate still needs to be trained and further molded, but let's be real. Every single candidate coming fresh out of school or coming fresh out of a training probably needs a little bit of molding. I'm not saying everybody definitely does, but at least in my experience, every company is different as well. So there's some adaptation there that is required. My friends, if you're planning to take this exam, let me know in the comments below. If you have taken this exam, also let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts were. Let me know what your thoughts are on taking this exam. And even if you don't, even if you're just a hiring person, let me know, is this something you're looking for? My friends, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to come into contact with all of these amazing people, talk to them, people like Hackersploit. I would personally like to thank Hackersploit for working with me on this and for answering all of the questions that I had. He was a really, really good support in this. So if you're watching this, Hackersploit, thank you very much. If somebody at INE is watching this, Hackersploit should get a raise. Thank you very much, my friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, amazing hackers.